So yeah, so that should be pretty interesting. That's going to get us pretty deep into the tournament. A couple other fun ones that have happened so far. We've got Bobby Big Balls versus YCZ. YCZ actually able to beat Toph and send him to losers bracket. So we'll see if Bobby has better luck against the Psycho Samus that is YCZ.
True, Psycho Samus. Well said.
Lucky, the round below that, Lucky was able to beat Bats, and so he's punched his ticket to quarterfinals. He'll be playing the winner of Bobby and YCZ.
Oh wait, the match has already started. The match has already started.
Oh God, we got to get in there. Ah! Oh God!
Ooh.
Holy moly! 100% has been done in the first 45 seconds that we missed. How terrible!
Pretty good. So Ryobeat is off to a good lead. I always say that this matchup is. Oh, he has a stitch right now. And look at that pressure! The grounded flow cancel up airs, knowing that it leads to a kill. It doesn't even need to throw the stitch face. Just holds on to it and puts on. Okay, Q drops a stitch. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So I know Z dropping cancels turnip whatever stuff. Does Q dropping as well?
Yeah, Q dropping is just Z dropping, just out of a double jump lane. Oh. So yeah.
So he just wasted his stitch.
He just wasted his stitch, yeah. But it's kind of worth it if you get it because you get to do turnip in a down smash, which does just as much damage as a stitch throw. But it wasn't that close, so
no. I'll never forgive him.
True. A couple back airs close it out after missing that drill to rest. He did get punished, take quite a bit of damage, but he's still in there.
So I know that this is considered a rather bad matchup. I have no idea why. Can you talk me through it a little bit?
Yeah, it's just the easy answer is back air. Puff's back air outranges everything that Peach has and doesn't really have an easy answer to counterplay. Even with a turnip, you can't really punish it. She can like back air the turnip itself and then just drift away and dodge the turnip. However, Puff still has trouble like approaching into Peach. Peach's own back air and especially forward air can just like trade with the back air. So and just right there gets a kill off the back of a trade, right? So really what Peach is trying to do is get a % lead and then trade her way until she gets the kill and then kind of repeat that process. Which is why I often say that this matchup is just 80-20 in favor of whoever has the lead. So
Okay, and so I know, we've talked a lot over SSS where we got this match a bunch of times, Peach versus Marth, who also kind of outranges everything Peach does. What's the difference here?
So in this one, it's not as explicit that she outranges everything. Marth like actually outranges everything. It's only back air that outranges everything, and it's still hard to avoid a trade. And so like oftentimes Peach like can trade with the back air, and so it's just a question of like, can you perfectly space back air over and over and over and over again and avoid every trade? Because oftentimes trades favor Peach. So Peach can still just like find her own clean openings, but it's much harder. She is kind of like there. That was like a pretty big outplay to get the float back air and another one there. So anytime Peach can get actually like a raw hit for nothing, pretty big win. So
I see. All right, so at 2 stocks apiece, Ryobeat's built up a pretty big lead here in percents, and we often talk about in other matchups how like a % lead can change so quickly, but in a floaty matchup like this, that's actually less the case, right? Like it's actually kind of hard to come back from even just a % deficit. And there you see Ryobeat just able to sort of pull it off, right? Like
Ryobeat's getting he's getting such efficient kills. Like he's controlling center stage and then doing like flow cancel up airs, and then he eventually did like a full hop up air, which just caught Puff trying to get off the platform. You got to play really positionally in this matchup. Both of them do. Like you can't just greed your way straight to center stage. You kind of have to like take it slow and then find your openings when you really earn them. It's not that you get giga punished if you're wrong, but just that you can get punished over and over and over and over and over again for having the wrong game plan, right? So
yeah, your % chance of making a poor play and it working out is much lower than in other matchups.
Nice drill to up smash this time to close out the stock. We have ourselves a last stock situation.
Yeah, we do, but Ryobeat's already got 80% on CPU0. I've noticed that CPU0 looks particularly comfortable when he can get Ryobeat on one of those side platforms and just sort of poke at him. So I kind of want to see more of that, but you see there, I think Ryobeat sort of picked up on it. He starts to jump high and like float just under the top platform to sort of reclaim center stage and push CPU0 more towards the corner. So seems like Ryobeat's avoiding those positions that make CPU0 feel comfortable.
Yep. And you can see Ryobeat's game plan changes so much as soon as Puff gets to 100%. That's when, boom, up air is unlocked and it's time to go to up air mode because, like, up air kind of becomes a kill move. And Ryobeat's probably the best up air in the business. He's just, like, has the fastest grounded float canceled up airs and also just a bunch of other types of up airs, like the full hop, short hop, jump float, falling up air, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, one of the other kind of awkward things about this matchup is that both of these characters have a really hard time reaching the top platform, or not so much a hard time, but just that they have to commit a lot of resources to do so. And there we saw with the lead that he had, Ryobeat was pretty willing to sit on the top platform there for 10, 20 seconds,
Yep.
and just pull CPU0 towards him. It takes a little bit longer than it might in a faster matchup, but eventually CPU0 feels like he has to commit up there because he is behind and he is running out of time.
Yep.
And Ryobeat's able to just punish him and sort of open up the situation off of that. And that's how he closed out that last stock.
Yep. And actually, the actual interaction to close out the last stock was CPU0 hitting a back air and then getting nared and dying. So at low percents, Puff is still actually kind of playing the same game plan. Puff's game plan is actually not that percent dependent. It's just that at low percents, you got to back air and then drift away. And he back aired and then drifted in. And that's it. You lose a stock for that, right? So it's like Peach is just like this big tank that you just have to like maneuver around the entire time. And at any time, if you just like step into her zone, boom, you take damage. And any trades is good for her. So like Puff is supposed to look for those clean hits over and over and over again. And Peach is supposed to make it difficult for Puff to get clean hits, basically. So. Ooh, but when
here
he's
we
above, yep, really tough to come down here. Oh,
yeah,
Ryobeat
it's funny because it's sort of bad for everybody, right? It's really tough for Puff to safely poke at the top platform, but it's also really tough for Peach to come down once you get that first hit and push her up.
Yeah.
So everyone's sort of unhappy with the situation.
Yep. Once Puff gets a full hop completed, though, she now has like 5 free pokes at the top platform. It's just like to get there, you have to full hop, double jump up air, double jump up air, double jump up air. And that takes quite a lot of time and is very reactable. But if Puff is already full hopped and then you're still on the top platform and you haven't jumped or anything, then Puff starts to get to poke at you for free. Like you actually have no counterplay. It's just she gets to up air your shield and you have to full hop away, right? And ooh, finds the shark there, finding the back air. Oh, just throws another Stitch Trace away. Ryobeat does not care that. Oh, I thought I pulled another one. Never mind.
All right, if he ends up losing this game, Ryobeat's gonna be kicking himself for wasting that turnip, that Stitch Face. You know,
like, I do think
a big deal.
It's really hard to hit Puff with turnips, and sometimes it's better to just because like if you try to hold on.
Look, he
to
just did it, Squid. He just did it.
Dang! Imagine if he did that with the Stitch Face.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, oftentimes I do think it's better to keep throwing turnips rather than to try to hold on for the perfect turnip throw with the Stitch Face, because otherwise you end up just not throwing turnips, and that makes neutral harder to play. So it's like do I want to give up my actual game plan of pulling turnips and throwing them regularly in order to hope that I can find this really strong turnip? Oh my god, this grounded up air, man.
Yeah, and the kind of disgusting shield pressure to open up into that, right? He was able to actually just stay on Puff's shield for so long that eventually she gets hit, and then she's just primed for that up air.
Yep. Ooh, CP0 doing such a good wall here. Ryobeat's, he is like taking it slow. He's not just rushing his way to center stage, but he's still having a trouble, like even incrementally taking space against Puff right now. But a couple back airs, but now he's kind of like survived. Like he didn't get gimped, right? So now at this point, he's got enough value out of this stock. And now he kind of just wants to, because like even at 130 you can trade with Puff here, and Peach will eventually take the stock first if they just keep trading from here on out. So
that's crazy. That's just because how light Puff is, or what's
it's
what's
just
the interaction there?
her back air doesn't kill till like 180 or something, right? So she can find like a drill up smash or a forward smash or something, but like for the most part this up tilt rest doesn't work or anything. So yeah, for the most part, Puff, it can kind of play this matchup with only back air, and it won't kill until 180, and it's totally fine. She can actually just win the game that way. Like, so.
There it is, that 180, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe could have lived that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Better DI, but like he's pretty much done there, you know.
Yeah, he spent his whole health bar on that stock, so you can't be too upset, because like if Puff finds a rest in this matchup, it's devastating, right? Because that's potentially 180% gone, right? So
can rest still kill at like close to 0 in this matchup? Or?
Yeah, probably needs like 1, maybe 2 back airs, but yeah, still like you can't technically find an up tilt rest or roll read rest. Maybe up air rest. I actually don't know if up air rest ever works, but yeah.
All right, so Ryobeat gets us back to 2 stocks apiece. You see, once again, he just goes high to burn the invincibility, and it feels like CPU0 sort of just has to wait it out. Ryobeat does eventually have to go for this this like landing with no float, which is kind of scary, but just a lot of horizontal movement in the air makes it not that bad.
Yep. Peach getting a 2-hit down smash into another hit, and that's already just so much damage. That's more damage than Puff can do in any combo, right? Like this is kind of the strength that like Peach has a few setups and a few combos that just out damage Puff. Like turnip throw nair can sometimes lead to one more nair and stuff like that. Like Peach has a few ways to kind of rack up damage pretty quickly. It's just the entire game is based around how difficult it is to get past Puff's back air, and it's kind of like, ooh, drill up smash.
Nice.
There's a kill setup too, right? So it's like that's a gimp right there.
Yeah, Gimp at 130, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was actually a really impressive little sequence there by CPU0. He sharked the top platform like 3 or 4 different times in a row with different options, right? It wasn't like Ryobeat was just falling down over and over doing the same thing. He was actually choosing different stuff, but CPU0 kept finding the correct answer. And so he racked up a bunch of damage really quickly and then closed it out with the drill up smash. So
yep.
Really good stuff. But he's got to find the extra credit here, I feel.
Yep, because I was going to say the vice versa is that Puff's life bar is about 100%, maybe 110 or so. So now we're at the start. Ooh, forward air does end up killing off the side, so pretty good from Ryobeat to only take 22% here. Oh, see, great 36% sequence right off the bat. So it's funny because, like, Peach not only racks up damage faster, but also kills sooner, right? So it's like, by those metrics in any other matchup, it's a Peach favorite matchup. What, she does more damage and kills sooner? Like, of course it's good. But it's like neutral can be that hard if you can't get past the back air. But if you have the lead, you don't actually have to get past the back air. So.
Yeah, and this is actually just really an unfortunate situation for CPU0. He's like held the percent lead literally the entire game from the very beginning. Yep. And that one good combo by Ryobeat sort of stole it back from him after all that time.
Yep.
Oh, but a chance to steal it right back with these up airs.
Yep, good.
He's shown that the sharking's really strong. Oh, this time Ryobeat finds the answer.
Yep, good double
90
jump.
to 75.
Yep.
Right.
Now Puff is scared. These up airs from Ryobeat, if you get red one time, you can die to the up airs. And up air jab jab, it's basically safe on shield. It's just as safe as any other aerial because float cancel makes it. Oh, man. And the nair does find the kill there, Ryobeat. Sorry, Ryobeat up 2-0. Nice.
Yeah, really clean by Ryobeat. He really weathered the storm there. He was down basically the entire game, made the comeback at the beginning of the last stock. Almost looked like CPU0 had the answer right back, but then Ryobeat finds a way to close it out.
Yep.
Before we jump into this next game, I do want to ask you really quickly, what's the story with Dreamland? In my mind, both of those characters really like that stage. Does it really work out more in Puff's favor?
I don't think the stages actually matter that much in this matchup. I think that Dreamland is like Puff kind of wants to not scrap with Peach. Peach wants to get in close quarters, scrap, and just have trades and chaos happen, right? That's kind of like, oh, maybe I mash down smash and I get a couple hits, or maybe we both nair and I hit one on you, right? Because like any even trades is good for Peach, because Puff is going to die at 100 and Peach is going to die at 160 or something, right? So the bigger the stage, the more you can avoid scraps and instead just play this spaced backer game. I think that CPU0 is doing a little bit too much drift forward on these hits. There's a few hits that like hit Peach and then she gets counter hit or something, right? So like kind of right there, like you actually just kind of, your shield pressure should be spaced back air into spaced back air, right? Like it's kind of like, it's a little, like binary. Like you kind of want to play it only with back air, and then like your mix ups are kind of like 10% off of that. Like 10% of the time I do something that's not back air, right? So.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of it is maybe a little greedy from CPU0. Maybe he's a little bit used to playing not quite the same level of Peach, where he can actually get some of these, not quite real combos off a little bit better.
Yeah, right now his defense has been very good to just like, if you hit him once and then you're greedy with your drift, Ryobeat trades back, and the trade backs are always good. Like right there, another kill, the 119%. Ryobeat's at the same percent, and he's not that close to death right now, right?
Yeah, and it really just seems like the play for CPU0 is I really want to see him playing to force Ryobeat up and out, right?
Right.
It seems like once he gets under Ryobeat and he's sharking, Ryobeat looks honestly pretty uncomfortable.
Yep. Oh, just barely misses the hits. Oh, goes for a nair down tilt. That's a Ryobeat classic. A long time ago, Lod had a tweet that was like, every other Peach does nair down smash here, but Ryobeat's not a real Peach main, so he does nair down tilt. That's the other way to play it. You see these spaced back airs, there's actually just no answer from Peach. Like if you shield a spaced short hop back air, you wave dash forward into the next back air, right? Like there's not really a great, and you kind of have to disengage. But ooh, Ryobeat sneaks under once again.
Yeah, it kind of feels like CPU0 is expecting Ryobeat to crack, right? Like he wants Ryobeat to pick a bad option and to come in and challenge something that's
look
not
these
really
turnip throws.
challengeable. Oh my god.
Ryobeat, one of the fanciest turnip throwers too. He does a lot of full hop double jump turnip throw, which can switch his momentum, and he can fast fall after it to instantly come back down. So,
Oh, come on. Okay.
He tried to throw it down that time, I think. So that was so close.
Yeah, and this is another instance where, you know, he is being allowed to pull a lot of turnips, so it's not like it's crazy luck that he's getting a few stitch faces here and there, but he hasn't really made much use of them either, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, but...
Yeah, I don't think it's kind of like with the Marth matchup, you kind of try to pull a lot of turnips, and if you get a stitch, it can be like game-changing. I actually don't think stitches are game-changing in this matchup, and kind of in the same way that rest is not really game-changing, because it doesn't happen that much. It's like, Peach pulls a lot of turnips in this matchup, and she hits like 10% of them or less, you know? And that's just kind of the nature of the matchup, I think.
Okay, again, we're seeing when CPU0 can get under Peach on the top platform, and by under I mean like in the air, like close under. That's really the win condition for him. That's where he's getting a lot of his damage, and Ryobeat doesn't really seem to have that good an answer to it, but is just able to get out of those positions even after taking damage.
Right, I think Ryobeat's doing a good job of repositioning over and over again and not fighting in bad spots, because the other position that's kind of hard for Peach is horizontally far away from each other. So when you have to deal with just puff space back air on the ground, Ryobeat tends to full hop to the platform. And then it's like, oh, how does he avoid being on the platform and then not being directly above Puff? Like Peach is constantly repositioning to be diagonally in front of, like above, and then get back down and get below her, and then get back diagonally above her, and then get back down. That way you never have to deal with spaced back air or fully spaced up air, which are the two places where Puff is just actually unbeatable, right? Can't challenge it, so. Right here, this is looking like too much damage and a missed, kind of fancy, pointless rollout to the ledge. Gets him killed.
Tells how you really feel, Squid. All right, so
that's actually a Ludwig option. Ludwig's Puff always does that.
So CPU0 down to his last stock. He is down a full stock as well, 2 stocks to 1. This is really significant in this matchup.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be so hard for him to grind his way back. Like you talked about, the trades are just so easy for Peach to force, and it's hard to get a clean hit on her.
And look at Ryobeat playing these positions, constantly being diagonal. Goes to the top platform, goes to the side platform, making Puff burn jumps in order to get an interaction up there, and then finds a back air, finds a forward air on him over and over again. And now the close range turnip play.
Yeah, and one other thing I want to point out here is not only the like game plan side of it from Ryobeat, I also think that the speed at which he's doing it is really good, right? Like the movement is so fast that it doesn't give CPU0 chances to catch him in transition.
Right.
And that's also a really, really big deal, right?
And he's just killing Puff at like exactly 100 every stock. Like finding up airs or like forward air right